So let's talk about shaft lean, trying to get a little bit more shaft lean with your irons and all clubs. I'm going to show you what tour players are doing compared to amateurs because it's so different. And I'm going to show you how we're all getting this wrong. Like, this is such a golf swing myth that so many people are getting confused still to this day. And we're able to measure it in 3D and show you exactly why this is a complete myth that I want you to not be fooled by. Let's show you what I mean. So we've all seen the impact position, shaft lean forward, hands forward, club back, that kind of real lovely boom, tour player kind of impact compared to these kind of actions that we see a lot from amateurs. Those shaft lean ideas are what's going to make us feel like we can really kind of get the iron striking ball, then turf, get those really powerful meaty, lovely strikes, you know, make you feel like a really good player. Now, for lots of golfers, they're getting this completely wrong, but two folds. One, they're feeling like they need to pull their arms across their body to get that handle leading. This isn't true and often hurts golfers. And two, they feel like they need to hold on to the lag angles, create more lag in the golf swing to try and get this shaft lean. This is absolutely not true, which I know that's like going to blow your head off, but just bear with me. And this isn't a debate, this is actually what happens from 3D measured real data. You've just got to get your heads thinking a little outside of the cliche box. So what I tend to find from golfers, the more you measure them, the ones who think they need to hold on to angles for longer to create extra lag, actually do the opposite. So I'm just going to do two swings here to show you hopefully some difference between the two actions. So one action here, I'm going to hold on to angle. This is lag angle. Now what we tend to see with people who tend to hold on to lots of angle is that as they swing down and start rotating, club starts going over their hands, outside of their hands on the downswing. Then as they rotate into impact, trying to get the club somewhere down by the ball, we actually see them line him up. Or we even see more of this kind of idea, believe it or not, baked in from that action. Because the added lag angle, they either don't deliver the club at all if they try and keep the club behind the hands, and if they deliver it, it's going to be literally into the ground. For most of them, they hold on to their angle, and as they're rotating, it pitches the club out over their hands, and they send it down into the ball, and we see actually more of a flicking forward action. Promise you, like that one blows people's heads off. So next action I'm going to do is I'm going to literally just place the club kind of level with my arm as much as I can on a downswing without being kind of down here. And then what happens is I just start to rotate out to that ball. Look what happens. Look how much lean I'm getting from this, what we call ulnar deviation, where we're bending the wrist down, which is where you're going to hit the ball, believe it or not. So if I put lots of this in and then pitch the club out in front of me and then rotate, same thing idea again, that even though the club passed wrong, I'm still getting shaft lean. I've still got the handle forward of the head. So myth number one, creating more lags and creating more shaft lean. Absolutely not, and for most golfers it's the opposite. And then the second one, what we see people thinking is trying to pull their arms right across their body. All this does is create a completely false impact position, and one that we don't really see amateurs do, because the shaft lean position with body rotated is actually not that different to my setup position. It's just my body's gone beyond it. It's like my body's moving beyond my arms. So actually when I get to here, this is my shaft lean position here at impact. It's just delayed. So basically it's the fact that you're looking from a fixed angle on as you're moving around that makes you look like you're getting this loads of lean. Now, like, golfers do get more lean with the handle, but never as much as people think. And it isn't coming from them pulling their arms across their body. Their body's running away a little bit from their arms, quite the opposite. And it certainly isn't coming from loads of lag. That's very much the opposite for most golfers. And there are the two myths that I know are going to blow your head off. Comment section now is just going for it. We'll do more on this, but how can we fix this? Now the fix can be simple. If you break your swing down, I'm going to create a vertical line here. And I want you to think of behind the line, and then I want you to think of outside of the line. I just want you to break that down. And then we're going to see the relationship between the head and your hands in relationship as behind or in front with the head, in front or behind with the hands. This is where we win. If we can get a vertical line here in your head and literally just thinking about your hands and the head's relationship to each other and it. Let me show you what I mean. This is everything for you not coming over the top, not hitting big slices, not ramming that club in the ground, getting more shaftly and hitting shots with the appropriate lofts. If we can get this into your brains and minds, it's going to help people get away from these lags and pulling their arms across their body actions that are actually hurting them. So when I go top of my backswing and stop, what you're going to notice, and we see this from good player after good player after good player, as I start my downswing, the head of the club, basically, remember from this straight line, is behind my hands. It's behind my hands all the way on the downswing until it catches up somewhere near my hands, often slightly behind it to in line with my hands. And it's not until the club gets below my hands, so when the club is above my hands, it's always behind. It then catches up with my hands. As soon as it starts getting below my hands, that's when it starts pitching out towards the ball. That's where we get the nice shaft lean, that's where we get the nice club pass from. What we see from amateurs, let's say that they're holding on to these angles, and let's say they're keeping that club behind the hand line, look, keeping it behind the hand line. As soon as that club starts pitching out, if it pitches out above the hands, this is when we start seeing the flick forwards, the swinging to the left, the horrible moves. So we need to get the club behind your hands until it gets level with your hands. When as soon as it starts going below your hands, then it's allowed to pitch out to that ball. And again, from that camera there, that's what's going to create this angle, not you doing this or this. This relationship is everything to then going out in front. That's the key. Driver, iron, all your shots. This is where it breaks down the myth. Golf coaching can move on. Players can start getting better. Players can start working on the right things. Forget all the YouTube cliches. This changes everything. So let's give you a few drills to try and feel this. First drill I use with loads of students, really helps them. Go top of your backswing. Then I want you to take trail hand off, and you're going to pop it over the head, or over the grip, sorry, on the lead side with your hand open. So we're in this position. See how open my trail hand is on the lead side. Now from this position, you're just going to keep pushing, gently pushing that head back of your hands until you get around that parallel position where the club is now catching up with your hands. Now what I want you to do is just turn it over, place it on the front side and push it out. Push it out down to the ball. This drill is so good for golfers getting the order. You can even start this way. So you could start with your trail hand lead side, open up with like you're going to kind of clap forwards, top of your backswing. Keep that handle back, keep that head back until it gets somewhere near down towards that parallel, and then push it out. This one just changes everything. It will change your leans and your kind of dynamic loss. Your strike will change with that. One of the main reasons golfers fin the ball is because they got the handle back, head forwards. They get the handle forwards, head back. This shaft lean from this movement, this is how we start getting the strikes much more up in the middle of the head. You can sink this into a move. See what I mean? You can do your practice swing this way and there, and then work that in to your golf shots. Again, we're just going to relate this to holding lag. So the club's above the hands, it stays behind. I can't hit it from here, I can't keep going. I've got to start pitching that club down. As soon as it starts pitching down over to the outside of the hands while it's above it, there's your basically your dead impacts that we see. So we need the head behind the hands until right down near parallel where it then can spin out. And that's the idea, breaking it down into those movements. Next thing you can do is we can get something down here for you to really visually see and work against. So I'm just going to take another iron, pop it somewhere parallel to my feet lying down on the ground, not up against it, and you can see it's kind of behind me here. And what I'm going to do, so from the top of the backswing, I'm going to keep the head behind that. Hands are going to stay quite on that line. I can feel and see in my peripheral vision that club is behind my hands. And then as soon as it starts getting level, so parallel with the shaft here, then I can really start flinging it out. And again, this is where we're going to see that shaft lean come from. This is such a simple way of feeling like you hold on to whatever angles you think you're holding on to for long enough before you then start spinning them out, rather than again that hold. Oh yeah, this is a great drill. You can do this on the course. You can do this obviously on the practice area rather than the course. You could put it down the course, not in a competition obviously. And definitely when you're practicing, really monitor that position then out. If you can keep the hands and that club head relationship work until at the bottom where it spins out, This is where you're getting this shape shot from. This is where you're getting your better strikes from all day long. Again, really easy way for you to really put this into your mind in the 3D world, if you like. Get your hand really bowing down. Look, this is kind of anti-lag, if you like, on the downswing. But basically the club is below my hands and it's in line to slightly behind my hands, then just rotate. And there's your shaft lean. It's just there. We've been getting this so wrong, thinking it's so much more of this, which it absolutely isn't. If you do get sharp, I mean, no one's hitting the ball this way. If they do, yeah, they're not hitting the ball. Like, it's going completely wrong, which is why you never see that pattern of movement happen where they're holding on. They're all trying to get that club out in front of them, but as the last move. Now you can do this with the driver as well, where if you want to find out some simple steps for hitting better drives, this video is really pushing people in a good direction to start bombing their tee shots.